What's up, people? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music business, music licensing, and music production. If you love any of the previously mentioned, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. So, we back for another live, and I'm here to just be an open book and answer whatever questions you guys have. So, we're gonna give it a few minutes, let the people trickle in, and then we're gonna talk about some submission tips and tricks in music licensing, so that you can increase your success rate in getting TV and film placements. So as you guys are coming in, drop a comment, let me know what city you're from, what you do, so I can see who's in the building, and then we can dig into this information. I'm all over the place today. I was literally just shooting some content right before this, and then I had to hurry up, switch back, set up for this, and now I'm on here. So we getting it done though. We getting this information out. We shooting content, and that's what we doing. So let me know how y'all day is going, what y'all up to, while I hydrate myself with some agua. Single Note Music, what's up? Detroit, Michigan is in the building. Can't touch my swagger. And of course, I bought it long ago, but it had a different time when it came to actually pitching my music out. Any advice? Let me see. I bought it long ago, but it had a different time when it came to actually pitching my music. So what's the question? And then we can see how we can help you out. But yeah, before we leave today, I'm gonna definitely give y'all some tips, like submission tips and things like that. I talked about it briefly on my Instagram last Friday, but we definitely gonna dig into that. But yeah, let me know. Can't touch my swagger, and we'll talk about it. Who else we got in the building? As you guys are coming in, let me know where you're from. Let me know what you do. If you're a producer, songwriter, artist, whatever you do, let me know. Question is, how do I submit to a company successfully? Great question. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to talk about, right? So let's talk about what service you use to actually submit. And honestly, it's going to depend on who you're submitting to, right? Every company kind of has their own guidelines and submission guidelines and things like that. So always start off by asking, how would they like to receive music? Some of them, they're cool with sending an MP3 attached to the email. Most aren't, but you'll get the occasional one who just don't care, right? And then you have some where they prefer streaming links, or a link that they can stream and or download like from that one link. So there's different services out there depending on how that publisher wants you to submit. So you have WeTransfer, right? WeTransfer is cool. I think if you get Pro, I think you can get it to where your link doesn't expire. But if you're using the free version, like I do, it expires. Like the link expires after like 14 days, something like that. I forget the exact number. But you don't want to send them links that expire unless they specifically say just send a WeTransfer and I'll grab it real quick. And you know, like firsthand that they're going to download it immediately. Don't send a link that expires, because what'll happen is they get busy, especially if you're talking about a music supervisor. They'll get super busy and completely forget the link expires. They forget about you. Boom, you missed out on a placement opportunity. So always make sure it's a link that doesn't expire. Services for that could be box.com, dropbox.com. I've used SoundCloud in the past when I first got started. I think it was it was used more than it is now in the licensing world, but some people still like SoundCloud links. So those are a few. Right now I use Disco, which is a dope service where you can kind of manage your catalog. Kind of advanced stuff, but it's super dope. Where you can send a link, they can share, they can stream it. If you can give them the option to download, things like that. So that's how you successfully submit. You listen, you ask them how do you want music, and then they just let you know, and then you submit according to how they want you to submit. So there's no like one answer, like this is the one way to submit to music licensing. It's gonna depend, but just make sure you don't send those expiring links, man. Like, I wouldn't do that. So appreciate the question. Hopefully that helps. Isaiah Hill, producer from Atlanta. What's up, Isaiah? Let me see. Ben, what's good? A music producer checking in from ATL. ATL is in the building. Appreciate it. Faker up. Was it Delon Bowen from Round Rock, Texas? I'm a producer. That's what's up, man. Thanks for coming through. The Anthony Johnson, Jamaica, Queens, New York. That's what's up, producer. Herbie Brown, what's up? You're not late. You made it, man. That's the most important part, is that you made it. Eric Hill in Minnesota. That's what's up, man. Hopefully you get your first soon. I'm rooting for you. Immaculate Beats, what's up? Okay, so Single Note Music asks, do companies ever want stems? Great question. Yes, more times than not, right? Like usually they want some alternative versions to give editors flexibility on how they, sync that music to picture. So they may want a 30-second, they may want a 60-second, they may want just a drum and bass version. So yeah, different versions, different stems are definitely a plus, and honestly it increases your chances of getting placements too, versus just having a track where they don't have flexibility. If you give them multiple versions, you increase your chances of getting placements by that much. And it don't matter, like if they only use the drum, like the drum stem of your full track, you still gonna get paid the same amount of money and royalties or whatever. So it doesn't even matter, as long as they use any part of your music, you gonna be good. So make sure you're prepared to make stems. Not every company will ask you for stems, but some companies will. A lot of companies will. So be prepared to create those, because yeah, that'll help you out. Let's see, Faker Up said, what's your motivation doing YouTube videos? Shoot, man, I'm talking about stuff that I love, right? And stuff that helps people, especially in the music licensing, the music production, and music business lane. People have questions and they always hit me up in the DMs with these questions. So what I do is I use YouTube as a way to answer these questions and put it out in front of as many people as possible, because a lot of people have the same questions you guys have, right? So I use YouTube as a platform to answer those questions, do some reviews here and there, and just help out as many people as I can without doing one-on-one with thousands of people all over the place. Like, I would literally not be able to do that. So thank you, YouTube. You allowed me to answer multiple people's questions with one video. So that's my motivation. John Allen, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through. Grand Woo from Colorado Springs, what's up? Let's see who else we got in here. Star and Amp, what's good? Geek and Garden from Dallas, artists, songwriters, that's what's up. All right, So how does all of this apply to us if we wrote the songs but didn't create the tracks? It's a great question, right? So if you wrote the song and you did not create the track, if you're trying to pitch music for TV and film opportunities, you have to make sure you can get in touch with whoever made the track, whoever produced the beat. Make sure you have the rights to use that beat in TV and film, because they're gonna have to sign off on it as well, since they own technically half of that song, of that master recording, right? So you want to make sure you have their contact information and make sure they're easy to get in touch with. If they're not, that could it could definitely prevent you. Honestly, I wouldn't even pitch it. Like, if you can't get in touch with them, I wouldn't even pitch it unless you guys have splits worked out, you got the okay, and if anything happens, you can reach out and get that joint signed off on. Otherwise, you won't get the placement, and you don't want that to look bad on you and your reputation. If you submit something and then they're like, yeah, we want to use this in this movie or whatever on Netflix, and then you're like, well, I can't get in touch with this guy. You don't want to do that. To put a sour taste in their mouth, and they might not want to work with you again. That's not good. Betsy from Boston, thank you. I'm glad I can share what I know. Okay, Isaiah Hill said, I got a few instrumental tracks accepted into a non-exclusive library. Some of those tracks would work well for this exclusive library. If I put vocals on it, would I be able to submit? I would say no if it's the same instrumental, because if you sign those tracks with a non-exclusive library and then just have somebody write over it and then submit those written records with the same tracks to an exclusive library, the exclusive library is probably gonna have an issue with that. Because if that, for example, I've gotten places where I submitted full songs, but then they only use the instrumental. So if they use the instrumental and then cue sheets are getting filled out and they're submitting this data, and then that non-exclusive library has a title for that instrumental, then there starts to create some confusion on who's representing this track and who do we pay. So I would say no. If it was another non-exclusive library, then you'll probably be good to go. But yeah, I would say no for that. I would just create tracks that are similar to that, have somebody write over those, and then send those joints over. Let's see. Grand Wu, thanks for the videos on how to manage finances. Man, absolutely, man. I hope it helps. I got part 2 coming out this Friday. So make sure you guys are subscribed and you got the bell notification thing selected, clicked, or whatever you got to do to make sure you get the notification of that video dropping. But yeah, it'll be out Friday, part 2. I'm gonna show you guys like the screen. I'm gonna share the spreadsheet that we use when we do our budget, and then I'm gonna also have a link where you guys can download that and use it for your own budget as well. So yeah, it's gonna be dope. Trelly, what's good? Said, is TuneEdge a good website for sync placements? What are some other websites you recommend? Thank you. I've never heard of TuneEdge, right? I mean, I'll have to check them out. I haven't done any due diligence on them. But there's so many, right? So this is what I recommend doing when you're searching for these companies, because they come and go, right? Some get bought out, some pop out of nowhere, some do really well. But just do your research, go to their page, see what placements they have, the last time they got placements. Even if you have to send them an email, hop on the phone, like ask them, what was the last placement you got? Like, what do you place a lot of? What do you need a lot of? And just ask these questions and do some research on them to to make sure they'll put in work for you, because it's a lot of them. Like, and every company isn't gonna be for you, right? Like, the companies I work with, they just may not be a good fit, like, to be honest. So depending on what kind of music you make, depending on the genres you do, depending on how you like to work, because there's different models too in licensing. Like, there's websites where you can just upload music and just let it sit there on the website, and then people come in and license it. Whereas, and then you have the the kind of companies where you can kind of build relationships with and talk one-on-one, and they send you briefs and things like that. So it just depends on how you want to work. But just keep researching those companies, reach out to them, talk to them, and then just make a decision, sign with a few, see how they work over the years, and then after a while you'll get an idea of which companies work well for you. So hopefully that helps. Immaculate Beats, what changes have you made since leaving the 9 to 5 as far as my workflow and whatnot? I guess the biggest change is I'm working more, right? Honestly, man, like, I mean, it's just more of what I was already doing, right? So I guess the workflow is, I guess it's kind of the same. I mean, the same time that I would wake up for my 9 to 5, I still wake up the same time and get started, working my business, still keeping that discipline of getting up early in the morning, getting dressed. I'm not in my PJs right now, which is basically some hooping shorts and a t-shirt, but you know what I'm saying, just getting dressed and getting ready for the day like I would any other day, but just being focused more so on the business. And then I just kind of structure my day out depending on what I need to get done. If I have to create tracks or mix something, I'm doing that Monday through Wednesday. Thursday is like my content creation day, so that whole day is kind of dedicated to just creating content for the next week. And then Friday is kind of like an admin day, just catching up on some stuff, accounting stuff, making runs, errands, emails, just whatever admin stuff needs to be done. So that's pretty much it, man. But as far as the workflow of create music, it's the same. I just have more time to do more of it. I'm probably super behind on these chats. Y'all keep them coming, I appreciate it. Let's see. Rob Beats, what's good? Do you do one-on-ones regarding how to maneuver and use my BMI, have it set up correctly? Absolutely. I do one-on-one consultations. Those can be booked at clintproductions.com/services if you want to go directly to the page. So yeah, absolutely do one-on-ones, hour-long sessions. We can chop it up, man. I'm an open book on those, and I can really give you that one-on-one personal advice. And if you need help, setting that BMI up, we can do like a screen share or something and just walk you through that, so you can be good, man. This is a good question from Can't Touch My Swagger. He's coming with all the dope questions, y'all. I need y'all to come, because Swagger's coming with the questions. Okay, so honestly, it's not super complicated. That first initial email should just be an introduction. Hi, my name is blah blah from whatever. You can mention your company. You don't even have to mention your company if you don't have a company. Just mention your name. Tell them what you do. I'm a composer. I'm a producer. Are you accepting new submissions? Are you accepting submissions from new composers? That's it. From there, they'll let you know what they want you to do. So don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be this long, elaborate, professional email. Like, just introduce yourself, ask them if they're accepting submissions, get straight to the point. and things are kind of go from there. No doubt, Herbie. What's up, Indigo, self-produced artist from Central Cali? That's what's up. Corey Hadley, what's good? Corey said, how long are the instrumentals that you submit? My instrumentals tend to be around 1.5 minutes, sometimes 2 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of my sweet spot. Again, depends on what they ask for. Sometimes I get briefs where they like, we just want 60 seconds. Excuse me, burping live. Y'all gonna get everything on this live joint. Y'all gonna get burps and ums and all types of stuff. But yeah, 1.5 minutes is a good spot, unless they say otherwise. Let's see what we got. J Love was good. LA's in the building. Michelle Leroy. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. Forgive me if I'm not. I've been known to butcher names in the past. How many tracks do you recommend to submit for a first to a library? I say I like the number 5. Like me and the number 5, we get along. So that's kind of my vibe. 5. I feel like it's not too much, but you can still give them an idea of what you're capable of with 5 tracks. So yeah. Because honestly, that first submission, when they ask you for like a link to something, 9 times out of 10 is so they can see if you can produce for real. Like if they just want to see if you can make quality music at the end of the day. If you can't, then they'll probably say this it's not what we're looking for right now, or they may not actually be looking for it right now. It just depends, but I say 5. It's a good number. We Create Music TV. What's good? I'm gonna post this. It's not a question, but this is my guy, so I'm gonna just post this up. What's good? Make sure y'all follow We Create Music TV, man. Like a lot of helpful information, especially for the indie producer, musician, anybody just in the music biz. Super valuable information and interviews on that channel. So make sure y'all check them out. What's up, Eddie P? Yo, I get this question every week. I go on a live, whether it's IG, YouTube, DMs, like it don't even matter. So are samples used from companies like Splice okay to use in submissions? The answer is sorta, kind of, maybe, but not, right? So this is the thing, man. This is the thing. If you have multiple people using the same loop from Splice, and like nobody's being original and flipping that joint to where it doesn't sound like the original, what can happen is all these tracks that are in the different libraries using that same loop send these albums and these tracks out to these production companies, and they get used, they get placed. So then this audio technology that's picking up on placements and things like that is picking up that loop, especially if you start the track off with just that loop, and have that playing like so I use TuneSat, right, which it like picks up an audio clip of tracks that are getting placed within the hour or whatever on TV. So if I use it, other composers are using it, so then we're all getting notifications of this 15-second snip or whatever that got used on TV, and we all thinking we just got a placement, but it was like this same loop that we all used. So now everybody going to their pro like, yo, I need to get royalties for this. I need to get royalties for that. Then it just starts this whole confusion of whose track it is. And then it can stop everything. It can stop royalties. It can be a headache. So my advice, me personally, I don't use it at all because I honestly don't feel like dealing with it. And I play keys, so like sometimes I'll use a loop for inspiration, but that's not a struggle that I have. Not really a struggle, it's just, I guess, just creating different things is like, that's where my strength is. So I don't use it. If you do use it, make that joint so unrecognizable that no one will know that joint came from Splice. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna use a royalty-free loop, that would be my advice. I personally just stay away from it because I don't want to take a chance and have to go through the headache. But yeah, that's the kind of maybe sort of answer to that. John Allen, what is the structure of your instrumentals? AABA or ABA or so? Okay. So I have a specific structure that I use. I won't go into detail on here because I feel like it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain. I guess it would be, let me see, brief intro, ABAB. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But I go into depth. I created a course because it's easier to show you guys what works for TV, because it's not only the structure. There's like length and like certain elements to the track that makes it work for TV, right? And it's specific. So I break it down in the course, how to structure instrumentals for TV. So that's available on my website, ClintProductions.com. Just go to the store or DM me, whatever, if you want information, or the link is in my bio on IG. It's everywhere, but hit me up if you want that. It's a video course. I go into detail. But yeah, like I think the basic structure is like ABAB, and then I'm usually done. I don't do bridges or anything for TV. Sometimes I'll do a bridge if it's a full song, but yeah, that's the short answer to that. Joshua, what's up, man? Said for TV, film music, is it things change in every 8 bars and 4 bars intros? Yeah, like every 8 bars, I'll say, switch some things up, man. You don't want it to get boring, man. Like, and it can get boring real quick. So switch things up, keep it interesting, have transitional elements. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. For the new people coming in, let me know where you're from. Let me know what you do, the city, producer, songwriter, artist. Let me know while I hydrate again. Yeah, I don't think people understand how thirsty you get when you go live talking nonstop and you're like the only one talking. Like, you can definitely get parched, legit. All right, let's go to these questions. Ooh. Miami. Kamaz, Washington. That's what's up. Yo, this is a good one right here. Okay, so when submitting tracks, some ask for metadata. How do you input the data to WAV files that will open up when they're presented to music soups? Super dope question. So one thing that I learned is that WAV files don't hold metadata. So say I create a track, I drag it in the iTunes on my computer as a WAV, and then I go in, edit, artist name, BPM, all of that information. When I send that track, if I email that track out as a WAV, after I put that information in iTunes, it won't stick. So by the time that WAV shows up to the other person's computer or email or whatever, it's just a regular blank WAV file again. I think it may have like the song name like .wav, like the original file name, but it won't have metadata. The only way that metadata sticks if you're doing it in iTunes is if you do an MP3 or I believe AIFF if you're using Mac. I'm not sure if you can do AIFF on Windows or not. I'm a Mac user. I've been a Mac user since like 05. So if anybody uses Windows, feel free to chime in the chat and let people know that I'm wrong. But I know AIFF keeps that metadata and it's like the same quality as a WAV. So that's if you're doing it in iTunes. I'll do that if I'm sending an MP3 out. I don't know why my email app randomly opens on its own. I didn't get an email. That's weird. But so that's one way to do the metadata. The way that is done most of the time with different companies that I work with is they just have a sheet where you type the metadata in a spreadsheet and then they do whatever they need to do. Sometimes they use different systems that keeps track of all of that information, and they just have you fill out a spreadsheet and then they kind of take it from there. So for the most part, I'm filling out spreadsheets. It's fun, and I say that sarcastically. Let's see. What's up, Jay Love? Thanks for coming through, man. So the question is, do licensing companies prefer to license works with one writer? Does submitting works with multiple writers present issues? It depends. A few writers, I don't think you'll run into any issues. If you have like 15 writers, probably going to be an issue. It just makes it, and then it depends on the size of the company. Obviously, working with like some of the major joints, you guys see the credits on these major records. It's like literally 15 writers on some of these joints. But if it's like a smaller company, they probably don't want to go through trying to get in touch with like, 6-7 publishers for each and every writer and all of that. So I feel like the less co-writers you have, the better and the easier it is to get stuff cleared. So just be mindful of that before you invite like 8 people to collab on this track and submit it to TV and film. And then make sure everybody that you are collaborating with can be touched and reached. So when it's time to sign off, everybody can sign off on that joint. I seen another John Wyatt. What's up, John? Thanks for coming through, man. So let me drink some water because I'm thirsty. John said, submit 5 songs in one genre or submit 5 different genre tunes. Amazing question. It's a great question. Because me personally, I do multiple genres. The music libraries, however, want me to do one genre, it seems like. So this is what I found happens in music licensing a lot of the time. A lot of the times? No, it's a lot of the time. I told y'all this is live, like y'all getting everything. So music libraries, it's easy for them, spam risk. It's easy for them to categorize you, right? And kind of honestly put you in the box, because it's easier to put you in a category. So when they send briefs out, they know John does this particular genre great. We're gonna send him this brief because we feel like he would do best in it versus somebody else. That's a good and a bad thing if you know how to produce multiple genres, such as myself. So what you'll find is you'll get all of the briefs, from a particular company, based on what you do or what you do best or what you started submitting them. So there is a workaround, right? And this is how I work around it. So, company A will probably get a bunch of hip hop from me. That's cool. Hip hop, R&B stuff. But then I'll go to another company and then just only send them like some ambient background tension music or something way different than hip hop and R&B, right? Because I can do that too. And then I'll be like that guy for ambient music with this company, and then be known as the hip hop R&B guy with this other company, so that I'm still able to do multiple genres. I'm still able to take advantage of multiple opportunities. I'm just doing it with different libraries. And it kind of makes everybody's life easier because they can categorize me however they want, and I can still use all the skills that I have and capitalize off of that to get more opportunities. So that's how I work around it. Hopefully that helps. Thanks for coming through, John. I appreciate you. Big Shot Beats, what's up? Big Shot is the homie. I'm gonna throw him up on the screen just because he's a homie. What's good, man? Clockwise, what's good? Just not able to join. If you're just coming in, let us know where you're from, the city you're from, and let us know what you do. If you produce, if you songwrite, if you're an artist, or if you're something else. You don't have to be one of those three. I'm not gonna box you in. Kevin Michael, great question. What happens after a suit gets back to you? What is the process after that? I'm sure it'll depend, but I'll just tell you about my personal experience. Okay. So I reached out, sent the music supervisor a playlist of music. He responded pretty quick. Honest, I was surprised. I was kind of taken back. Like, bro, like, you supposed to be busy, man. That was real quick. But he hit me back, was like, yo, this is great. I may have something I could use this for. We'll be in touch. So I was like, cool. Then months went by and I didn't hear from the dude. I'm like, I thought we had something going. Like, this was feeling good at first, right? But it was a few months that went by. And then randomly I get like a, what's that agreement called? It's pretty much it was an intent to place a track in a film or whatever, which was great. I was definitely happy to see that, even though it was like 3 months, which, I mean, that's what it is, man. It's hurry up and wait, right? So after that, they were like, yo, we want to use this. And then conversation kind of started, the relationship started to rekindle. And, we just started the process of paperwork, man, just filling everything out, confirming credits. How do you want credit displayed on the end credits? So we had to go through that, fill that out, had to send the paperwork to all the different writers and producers involved and owners of the master. They had to sign off on it, send it back, and then we send it to them. Then I also tried to negotiate a higher fee because they wanted, what happened? I think they made a change to like the territory or something. So then, a negotiation thing can kind of happen. And then once all of that is agreed, then you have to fill out, you fill out your paperwork to get payment and things like that. So you're filling out W-9s, direct deposit information, things like that. Yeah, and then pretty much dependent, sometimes you may have to sign like an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Just depends on the project. And then you pretty much just wait until it comes out. Wait till the check comes, which is the best part. And then that's it, man. Like, it's just a bunch of back and forth paperwork, questions. Oh, you misspelled my name, like stuff like that, honestly. Yep. Charles Jefferson, what's up? So I know it depends on the placement, but about how many do you think it would take to comfortably quit a 9 to 5? Yeah, I wish I had an answer for that. It's I don't know, man, a lot. Like, I mean, like I said, I always encourage producers to have multiple streams of income, not just like one. If you're like in licensing, there's multiple streams in licensing. So you have the upfront fees, and then you have royalties, right? Royalties go up and down. You can't really depend on those until you get to a point where there's so much music on TV that you did that like you kind of can see the lowest point of where your royalties are hit. And then you may be able to kind of make a wise decision based on that. But it just depends, man. Depends on the placements, what kind you're getting. I got a brief a couple days ago, and the upfront sync fee was 6 figures for one commercial, right? So it just depends, man. Depends on which direction you go, which route you want to take, how much work you put in. Just shoot. It's whatever. Just keep working until you're at that point where you feel like you can comfortably quit the day job. What's up, Honey Banks? No doubt, no problem. What's up, Creative? My guys in the building. Immaculate said Clint's out here finessing the system. Man, you got to. You got to make it work for you. Man, listen, like for one commercial, like, so this was the thing about, so this is the beat that's playing right now that I submitted for that. But I got the brief like what time was it? It was like noon. I posted on my Instagram page. Y'all follow me on Instagram at ClintMusic. Y'all see some of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on. But I got the brief the day of, and it was just like, this is due today. And then I thought about it. I was like, I have nothing like this. But I was like, shoot, I seen that dang on budget, and I was just like, yo, we about to create something like this today. Knock that beat out. I could not submit to that. J Love, I'm in Atlanta. So yeah, you just gotta find what works for you. Get that pocket and keep it moving. What's up, Ingrid from Cincinnati, Ohio in the building. That's my home state. Shout out to Ohio. Yo, shout out to Honey Banks, artist, writer, composer from Dallas, Texas. Just got a placement on a movie that was released yesterday. So this is right on time. Congrats, Honey. Like, yo, hold on. We gotta give her some claps. Yo, that's huge. Congrats on that, Honey. I'm sure you put in the work to deserve it. So yeah, keep it up. Keep it going. Let's see, going through the questions. Eric Hill, what's good, bro? When do you receive royalties? How often are they paid out? So performance royalties are paid out quarterly. So that's every 3 months. So you get 4 royalty checks a year. Yeah, and that's when you receive them. That's how you get them. I'm trying to think of any. As far as the TV side, yeah, that's usually like the bulk, the royalties. You may get a few kind of trickle in from like YouTube media streaming stuff. It just depends, but generally quarterly, every 3 months, 4 times a year, you can expect to get those royalty payments. Honey Bank says she cried. No lie, I ain't mad at you. Like, that's a huge accomplishment. That's huge. What's up, Anupam? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, forgive me. But he says, hey Clint, is there a way to make libraries pay upfront for the track submitted? Looking for this approach to earn a few bucks at the start. Great question. I know a lot of libraries, some of them that are associated with the Production Music Association. Shout out to PMA. I'm a member of PMA. A lot of libraries are associated with them pay upfront. It just depends on the budget as well for the project. And then there's a lot of libraries who don't. Like, you don't get paid upfront. It's just royalties. So this is kind of how you gotta approach it. Never hesitate to ask, right? I'll ask, like, yo, do you guys have an upfront budget? Especially if they approach me to create some custom work, I'll ask, like, is there a budget for upfront fees for this? And then they'll let you know, like, if yes, no, and then you'll know where you stand. So you're not like blindly working, hoping that maybe, you know what I'm saying, like they'll cut a check. No, like upfront, right? So, but this is what can happen though, right? So I did a deal with a company and they approached me to create some tracks for a production album that they were working on. So what a production album is, it's an album full of tracks made specifically for production, TV and film production. So they send these albums out to, production companies. So I asked her immediately, is there a budget to create these tracks? Because I have to take time away from paying clients and other people who are paying me to do things. So I just need to know, like, how much time should I allocate to this project? So she was just like, no. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I wasn't mad at, like, I'm used to it, right? Starting out, you usually don't see upfront money. So I was like, cool, I'll rock with you. So I did a few tracks and I did them good. Like, I mean, I'm not going to short you because you're not paying. Like, I'm going to still give you quality work as if you were paying me, which is key, right? Don't be cheap. So I gave her some dope tracks. So it was like, cool. She liked them. They got accepted. Fast forward, started getting some placements from it. I was like, okay, cool. So she reached back out to do another project. So I did a few more tracks, and then pretty much I did this a few times. And then it got like 1 year, she surprised me. She just hit me up like, yo, Clint, we need this and we actually have a budget. I was like, yo, like, that's what's up. Like, I wasn't expecting that. So it ended up turning into a pay situation. And sometimes they'll say no to kind of get a feel of how you work on the free stuff, so that if they do have a paid opportunity, they know they can depend on you for that paid stuff. So sometimes you just got to show up and give your best for those opportunities that aren't paying. And that you may be surprised and they'll turn up to some paid opportunities. Now, like the last couple briefs they reached out for me has been paid, like up front. So You may start off, like I said, like no money up front, but just always deliver your best and it could turn into something dope. Appreciate you coming through, man, and tuning in. Shout out to everybody, anybody that just joined. Apparently we are live, but let me know where you're from. Let me know what city you're from. Let me know what you do. And we're answering questions, man. We're talking about music licensing. I'm gonna be on here for about 9 more minutes. Then I'm gonna hop off. You guys have been dope. You've been asking some really dope questions. I appreciate it. And hopefully this information is helping you guys. Quiet Edge Productions from Baltimore. What's up? Immaculate Beats said, how often do you find yourself having to negotiate the fees and whatnot? Doesn't happen often. Usually the publishers and stuff are doing stuff like that. The only time I kind of did that was with it was a Netflix situation, and it was only because the price they came with, I mean, it was fair to begin with, but they had hit me up and was just like, yo, like, we need to make a change to something. I don't know if it was like I don't think it was a length in the term, but I think it was just like something, one of the rights or one of the terms had changed. So I felt like, that was an opportunity to negotiate. Like, something's changing, so like, shoot, the price should change. The price should change too. So it just depends, man. Like, if it's something where like they want to use it longer, I mean, naturally you have to pay a little bit more if you're using it longer. If you want to use it more than out to just the US, right? You want to use it outside of the country that it was originally being licensed for. I feel like that's room for negotiation, but it doesn't happen a lot. Like on the reality TV stuff, like, working with the music libraries, usually there's no negotiation because most of it is back end money anyway. So those rates are kind of determined by somebody else altogether, and you just sit and wait for your royalty check to come. E Nice from North Carolina, that's what's up. Devon, welcome. Do you master your own music? Yes, I do. I mix and master everything I do. My mixes weren't always the greatest, but over time, through practice and just mixing a whole bunch of crappy music, it got better, and I'm glad I learned how to do it, because now I'm able to turn around music faster. Like, for example, the brief that I was telling you guys about earlier, do like the same day. I was able to produce the track, mix it, master it, and send it out like in 2 hours. Unless you got a dope relationship with a dope engineer, a lot of times it's hard to have that kind of turnaround, because you got to make the track, then you got to get all the files together, email it to the engineer, and then he has to sit down, mix it, and it just depends on what his schedule's like. And a lot of times, man, I tried to reach out to an engineer once, and I was just like, yo, I'm working on some TV and film stuff. Can you have this mixed and mastered by tomorrow? And they was like, nah, bro, like I need time. I was like, we ain't got time, bro. So he missed out on that opportunity. But you just gotta be able to turn around stuff fast sometimes. And I feel like if you learn how to mix and master on your own, then you add more value to yourself, especially in licensing, because you can sometimes I'll get hit up and like, yo, we need an alternate mix for this track that you did like 3 years ago, and I'm like, dude. So I have to go back but I can do it real quick because I have everything and I mix everything, so I can do that. So yeah, that helps, man. That's been a lifesaver, honestly, for me. I almost missed out on a promo placement for a show. I forget what network it was on, but I almost missed out. Like I was like out driving around and they hit me up and just like, yo, they want to use this, but they need this synth switched out. So I like literally ran back home and knocked it out. And if I didn't mix and master, I wouldn't have been able to do that because I had to switch out all the sounds because I was using different plugins when I created that track 5 years ago. Shout out to that publisher that put me on the spot, but it happens. And man, shoot, like sometimes you just get put in situations where you got to figure it out. But I got it to him, and mixing and mastering helped that. So I created a course. If you want to learn how to mix and master, I have that too on my website, ClintProductions.com. But yeah, man, definitely recommend it if you're in music licensing. Going through the questions. I can't talk, man. I've been talking too long. Appreciate you, Byron, for coming through. Listen, YouTube is the new school for real. Yeah, man. What's up, Benjamin from Canada? Thanks for coming through. Isaiah Hill said, do music libraries register your tracks for you? In most cases, yeah, they'll register on your behalf with your PRO. But always ask just to be sure. But yeah, usually they do. Another great question. I often get emails from companies such as that pitch, and they often want me to pay monthly in hopes I'll get a placement. I don't trust it, but what's your opinion on it? I haven't heard of that company, so I can't really speak positively or negatively about them. I will say, like the pay to pitch joint is kind of, I kind of understand why they do it because it filters out people who aren't serious and people who will, waste their time. I get that, but it can get expensive and it's creating another barrier of entry. So you got to get I'm assuming this is how it works. Like they have to approve it, and then if they approve it, they forward it to another company. If that's the case, it's just another middleman that you kind of got to get out the way, or at least get approval for before you can actually go straight to the library or music supervisor or whatever. That can get expensive, especially if it's monthly. You like all these companies, music libraries out there, most of them don't. They don't charge a fee to submit. They get paid when they place the music on the publishing, right? So they publish your music, they get paid. And that's usually how it should work. And it should be motivation for them to get to work. So if like y'all want to get paid, then y'all need to do y'all's part and publish the music. So that's my approach. I try to avoid, companies that are charging, especially monthly, because you can't guarantee a placement. Like I can give y'all all this dope information, but I will never guarantee, like even if you take my music licensing course, Road to 10 Placements, I'm not going to guarantee you're going to get a placement, even though I give you everything I did, every step I took to start getting placements in that course. I'm not going to guarantee you a placement because I can't. I don't know your work ethic. I don't know what some of y'all's music sound like. I don't know what y'all's attitude is like, you know what I'm saying? Like all those things play a role into how and into getting a placement. But I can tell you this is what I did and it worked for me and it's gotten me placements, and I know it's gotten other people's placements, but I'll never guarantee you. I can't. So yeah, that's my take on it. Hopefully that helps. Appreciate it, KO. Glad you enjoyed it, man. Mark Mullins. I've actually used Taxi. I have a video on that on my page. Just go to click the videos tab, scroll down, and I talk about Taxi. I've actually used them. But yeah, check the video out. It'll be good. Their road rally is pretty dope. I'll say that. But yeah, I talk about it in detail on that video. No doubt, man. Glad y'all like the knowledge. Yeah, absolutely. So look, I'm about to hop off here, but I appreciate y'all coming through, chopping it up with me, asking the dope questions. And I've enjoyed just sharing this information with you guys. You know, some of this information is in the free 6-step guide. If you don't have that, it's a great starting point. If you've never ever gotten a placement, or you just want to know how to get started or what the basic steps are to getting started in music licensing and start creating, you know, new revenue streams with your music, especially if it's been sitting on a hard drive and ain't doing nothing, like put it to work, right? Music licensing is a great way to put your music to work. So click the link, or it's not a clickable link, so don't click it, but just go to the website. I'll leave a link in the description as well after this video is uploaded on YouTube. But this is the website where you can get that free 6-step guide. Let it help you. Keep me posted on y'all's progress. Again, shout out to Honey on the placements, and hopefully I start hearing about more placements from you guys. Just, you know, applying the information that I'm sharing. That's the whole point. It's like to get the information and then actually apply it and take action like ASAP, right? So don't wait. Take action immediately. Thank you guys. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna catch you guys next week. I'll be back here next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and we're gonna chop it up about another music licensing topic or whatever y'all want to talk about. I'll be here. I'm here for it. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.